Hi, everybody. I am Jen Johnson, and this is Thought by Thought Healing. It is Friday night, and after I record this, I'm going to head over to some friends of mine's house, and we're going to play games, which we do often. And I also often lose at these couple games we could play, but for some reason, I just keep wanting to play them because eventually I just know I'm going to figure out how to beat them. But the husband this week sent me an article from the New York Times that I originally blew off and didn't spend time reading. And then he sent me another message and said, "Have you listened to it?" And so I spent some time listening to it. And now I've listened to it 3 times. And every time I listen to it, I learn something more. And I want to talk about it with you. So it is called, "Can Virtual Reality Ease Chronic Pain?" The answer to that question is yes. Absolutely. And here's why. And this is why I find it so encouraging is the work that I am doing and the work that I did to heal and that a lot of people are doing to heal overlaps with virtual reality. And so I'm going to talk about what those are, what those tools are that are being implemented in virtual reality. It is Brennan Spiegel and Omer Laron. I believe I'm saying their names right. It's a gastroenterologist working with a psychologist and a programmer. I should clarify, Omar is the psychiatrist and the programmer. And so the two of them are working on this project of virtual reality devices, specifically to help with reduction of chronic pain, and it is working. So one of the patients that they work with is named Monterosso, and she has lower abdominal pain at I think they said her pain scale was 7 or 8 out of 10, really high, awful pain. And so she goes in and sits down, puts this headset on, and she is able to see on a screen in front of her because she's wired to it. She gets to see her physiology play out on that screen as she is in VR. And she gets to see her pupil changes, the visual cortex of her brain, her brain activity is on the screen, and also her heart rate. So as she's experiencing different settings and different emotions and different breathing styles or paces, then she gets to see how that physiologically plays out in her body, and gets to see how it fluctuates as she changes emotion and setting, which is really cool. We call that PNE in coaching. PNE is Pain Neuroscience Education. And normally we kind of, in this pedantic way, teach you how your brain controls your body and how it controls your physiology. And in this case, she gets to see it. You get to see it real time in biodata on the screen in front of you, related to you specifically. So it's real-time learning and understanding, which is absolutely amazing. You also get to see the effects of well-paced breathing. They have certain activities, I guess, or visuals where the branches of a tree are filled with leaves as you breathe, and it helps you pace your breathing, and that those leaves grow maybe on the branches. And as you are doing that, you're seeing the tree flourish. You are feeling more at ease and calm, and your physiology on the screen in front of you is echoing the same thing and showing the proof of why breathing is so important. Appropriate breathing is so important. And that's part of coaching too, is having breathing activities. Breathing affects your brain, and it affects the way it processes things, and then therefore affects the nervous system, which is really important. And so I love that those two things overlap. There's also EAET therapy that pain coaches will often use. And we see this kind of happen, not intentionally, but happen in the virtual reality. Monterosso is kind of going through a hike in the woods, and it reminds her of her son who has recently passed away. And she starts to realize that some of her stomach pain is related to the fact that she has lost her son. And she cries while she's in that session, the VR session. And the psychologist that's there leans over to the journalist, to the doctor, and says, "Look, she's doing her own therapy." And as she cries and lets that go, her pain does dissolve. And that is amazing, because once more it is showing that the emotions are related to the pain, related to the nervous system activity based on what we are experiencing, repressing, believing in our brains. I love also that this shows and proves that pain is real. All pain is real. The brain is controlling it through the nervous system and delivering real, true symptoms in your body, wherever it is. This article talks about specifically 4 different types of pain, but the list goes on. But they mention fibromyalgia, they mention lower back pain, knee osteoporosis, and I'm missing one more, and stomach pain. Yes, lower abdominal pain, and how this is helpful for certain patients that we follow in this article that have those specific symptoms. And so I need to fact check myself, which I'll put a note in that. I'm not sure if it was osteoporosis. So I will put that in the notes later if I'm incorrect on that. And so, but moving on, a few other things that happens in the VR that's awesome is graded exposure. They are introduced via visual stimuli to using their body in ways that they haven't in the past. And then their brain gets to see them in virtual reality doing something that it hasn't done, that it's been maybe scared to do because of predictive coding. They talked about predictive coding in this, how the brain is predicting how you're going to feel when you do an activity. But when you see yourself in virtual reality doing that thing without pain, your brain starts to realize that it is possible. And it interrupts that predictive coding cycle of habit of pain in your brain. It's rewiring your brain is what is happening. It is rewiring your brain. When they do this, it's 7 minutes a day for 2 months. So it is this repetitive thing, which is true of what pain coaches do. And as you heal is something that all these tools we want to implement on a daily basis, because we are changing the way the brain is responding to the world around us, and to using our bodies in the way that they can be used, but maybe have been trained to produce pain too. So I love it because it is targeting the brain instead of targeting the body part that's hurting, because there's nothing wrong with your body. It is a nervous system response to something that can be corrected. And that's what's so exciting about this, is that it's also giving hope. It's giving hope to people that they can experience life in the way that they want to. They can kind of make their dreams come true. They can relieve the pain and reverse it and start living. Another thing it uses is fun. Some of the virtual reality experiences incorporate fun and good times. If you haven't watched Dan Buglio's videos on YouTube, he does a daily video, and a lot of it is about getting out there and enjoying your life and doing the things that you love is a part of rewiring and teaching the brain something different. And so this virtual reality is just really exciting. It is not readily available to anybody that wants it. You can't go to Amazon or Google and search this yet and buy it. They do hope that one day it will be available for people, but it is not currently. It's still in the workings, and I don't want to pretend like I understand how all this stuff works with the FDA. But I know that there are some places you can get it, and yet there's a lot of work still to be done to have it be a regularly offered therapy. But it still is hope, and this article is this piece is really letting the world know that there is pain neuroscience, and that pain is not necessarily a structural thing, and we want to be starting to target the brain instead of the body. I want to read a quote that Maddox, he's the vice president of Applied VR, which is a company, and he said his hypothesis is that it is altering the structure and function of the brain. He said you don't get changes in the patient-reported outcomes without changes in the brain. That is so true, and that is exactly the route that I took to heal from my own fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis, all the things that I had, central sensitization, the myriad of things. These are the types of tools that we use to rewire the brain and to teach it safety, and that the nervous system can re-regulate and stop sending that alarm signal of pain. So please check out the article. I'm going to also put that in the notes, and so you can listen to it or read it. And hopefully it will be encouraging and just give you some insight of some more tools that you can use for your own healing. You do not need this VR to do the tools that it's doing. I want to be clear about this. This video is meant to be hope that you can see how these tools apply to you without the VR. I do hope that we get VR in all of our hospitals and doctors' offices and that it becomes something that people can use, but we don't need to wait for that to become readily available. So check out my website, thoughtbythoughthealing.com, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I want to just see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about here. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is that there is one company named Karuna that is also implementing VR. And what was exciting about it for me when I was listening to this was that they don't claim to be solely VR. They do VR and pain coaching. So you meet with a pain coach on a regular basis while you're doing VR. And the VR sends the bio data to the pain coach, and you work with both of those things. And it was just encouraging because that part of that company is actually under the purview of the doctor that I was able to train under for 3 months. So that's Dr. Howard Schubiner. And if you don't know who he is, you should definitely look him up. He's doing amazing work with people in chronic pain and helping them to understand how to heal from chronic pain. So yeah, I think that is all I want to say for today. I am going to talk probably about this article again, either next week or the week after, because there's some other things just about the history of pain research and how that research has developed and changed from being structural to brain. And I think there's some really interesting pieces in there that I would love to share with you guys. So stay tuned. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.